What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the St. Thomas Dynasty here on NCAA 14. This is John J Gaming on the mic, and today, we're gonna go and celebrate that wild AutoZone Liberty Bowl victory, winning 45-42. It was an absolutely insane game, and if you want to check it out, I'll leave a card up on the screen. Probably should be coming up any moment, so you can go check it out after this video, of course, if you want to see what happened. But we're gonna check out the stats for this season, as well as take a look at what go into his off season. So we did have some turbulence at quarterback in the middle of the season because Kyle Luck did get hurt, but when Kyle Luck was in, he was phenomenal. Almost 2,500 yards passing, 21 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. He probably is not going to make it to the NFL, but this man, was one of the best. Actually, I'm going to say it right now. He was the best player to ever play at St. Thomas, even though he was a JUCO transfer, so he only got to play for 2 seasons. But when he did get to play, he was really good. He improved his touchdowns, dropped his interceptions down from 10 to 8 despite playing an additional game, and then we gotta see what our backups can do too, as Antoine Johnson got in. He's definitely a gunslinger, so it'll be interesting to see how it turns out, if he takes the reins next year or not. And then Noah Brooks, still has a little bit of work to do. Showed up in one game, 4 for 9, 28 yards, 1 interception. Our running backs, we had more chances to run the ball, and for the first time in this dynasty, we did have 1,000 yards rusher. Lucas Coley, man, 219 carries, over 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns. It was his first time on the field in 2 years, and he definitely made the most of the opportunity, man, as the main ball carrier for this team. Not to mention, he was able to add a couple of touchdowns, through the air as well, catching a couple passes from, combination of our quarterbacks as well. He wasn't the only one to get the ball, though. Kyle Luck had some carries. He had 372 yards and 3 touchdowns. Antoine Johnson, in his limited action, had over 100 yards on the ground. I'm going to love to scramble with this guy. I'll tell you what, has the speed of, Desi Lenzy, but also has an actual arm, as well as Eli Shaligan. Eli Shaligan was a nice goal line back for us, 22 carries, 78 yards, 4 touchdowns though. Definitely no shame in that whatsoever. And then moving to these receivers, we had a lot of people that had the chance to get the ball. Andrew Green, though, set the new school record for most receptions in a season. That was broken by, it was set back in 2006, and now Andrew Green has it with 84 catches. Also has 1,000 yards, catching as well, with 8 touchdowns. Santiago had 7-12. He was also a big factor. Alex Garcia, though, did take a step back. Maybe, that number 2 role isn't exactly for him. Hopefully we see him kind of recover next season. But yeah, man, almost half as many receptions, half the receiving yards. Didn't get into the end zone the same amount of times, though, so I guess he was more efficient there. So that's kind of unfortunate. Adrian Allen, he had, twice as many touchdowns, and, he had, not as many drops, so that's encouraging to see as well. Tristan Singleton, he, came on 30 catches for 362, 3 touchdowns. He had 9 drop passes, though. It seemed like he had more than that, but, I guess that wasn't the case. Jamie Smith got some touchdowns. Rashad Burt, I don't know why I struggle with his name. Rashawn Bird, he got a touchdown. Kajaye Boyd, one of our cousin recruits, man, mainly a kick returner for us, but he also plays a little bit of receiver for us, a backup receiver. Got a couple of scores too as well. Moving on to our defense, we have, we got 3 guys that basically shared, the lead for most tackles this season. It was broken down between Zaire Hill, Billy Mitchell, and Tyler Graham, each of which had 60, at least 65 tackles. And the beautiful part is we do get all 3 of these guys back, so I'm going to expect even more production out of all 3 of these guys, moving forward. One person we will miss, though, is Adam Wright, Jeff Outlaw, both of them having amazing seasons as well, so they're going to be missed. As for, you know, our QB sacks, you know, not as much production with getting sacks this season, but we did have more turnovers, so, I mean, I'll take that. Our leading sack guy was O.J. Gardner, who is a senior, who stepped up in a big way. You know, didn't see them field that much in his first 2 seasons, but then, you know, became the starter in his senior year, and, you know, he played a solid 27 tackles, 14 TFLs, you know, and those 7 sacks. Glenn Robinson and Adam Wright also had 3 sacks of their name as well. And Dale Garrison, Corey Ford, Jeff Outlaw, and Tyler Graham each having multiple sacks as well, with Billy Mitchell, David Brown each having 1. As for interceptions, Zaire Hill led the team with 4 interceptions this season. First year on the field, he definitely made the most for it for sure, even getting a defensive touchdown as well as a fumble recovery. That defensive touchdown being in the bowl game, so that's huge. Jeff Outlaw, Eric Bradshaw, and Jared Odom each had 2 interceptions each to their name, but they're not the only people getting picks. Tyler Graham, Billy Mitchell, and Jeff Jones each got an interception as well. And then we even had more forced fumbles. Adam Wright, Tyler Graham, David Brown. You know, we got 6 guys, you know, that forced a fumble, and we got 4 of our fumble recoveries, so that was nice to see. You know, and not to mention Jared Odom and Jeff Outlaw also had defensive touchdowns. This defense took a huge step forward, and it will be interesting to see if we can continue to do that going into season 7. Next up, we have the All-American list, and, you know, at first glance didn't seem that we didn't have anybody, but, you know, as we get towards the bottom, for the first team, we had Kajaye Boyd, who actually, you know, made the first team as a kick returner. Dude was absolutely electric. Over 35 yards per kick return, as well as 3 touchdowns, and we get to work with him for 1 more year, so that's extremely exciting to see. Not to mention that we had somebody on the second team as well. We had Zaire Hill make the second team, you know, with those 63 tackles, 5 TFLs, and 4 interceptions to his name as well. You love to see it, and we get him back next season as well. Moving forward to the max, same deal, not too many guys on the first team, although Tyler Graham, Jeff Outlaw, you know, and Billy Mitch. Actually, most of our secondary does make the first team, as well as Tyler Graham. Surprisingly, Pat Hampton also made the you know, first team all conference team. You know, I didn't think he would actually make it. We feel like we didn't really use him that much, you know, but 18 for 18, that's hard to argue with, and no surprises here. Kajaye Boyd's on here as well. Taking a look at second team, and Kyle Luck's not on here either, so that's kind of disappointing to see. Just would have loved to see him like get that kind of award. But Adam Wright is in here as well as a second team guy. Same thing with Jared Odom. He's a second team all conference dude. You know, definitely a lot of guys that made the all conference team, so I'm really excited about that. But am legitimately curious to see what happened in the conference championship game. And I'm just kind of scrolling down. Ball State actually did end up beating Bowling Green 28-17. You know, and Ball State, that was a team that we were in it for, you know, the vast majority of that game. We could have beat these guys if we had our starter, but Vlasky had to get hurt during the game. Antoine Johnson had to come in, and, you know, he's just not the same guy as Kyle Luck. So I mean, hey, maybe next year, actually, I'm going to say it right now, next year, our goal is to try to make it to the MAC championship game, and I would love to see that happen, because we have a lot of talented people coming back next season. As for bowl season, you see that St. Thomas did win the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. It's our very first bowl appearance, and we are able to turn that into our very first bowl victory. So I'm definitely excited about that. I'm just so happy that we made it to a bowl game and didn't get hoed in general. New Mexico was actually finished the final ranking number 8 in the country and won in the Poinsettia Bowl by a final score of 38-31 against Southern Miss. Arkansas State finishes in the top 25 as well, beating Old Dominion New Orleans Bowl by a final score of 28-25. USC beats Air Force 34-31. UTSA finishes in the top 25. I love seeing these smaller schools get an opportunity to finish in the top 25 poll, as UTSA beats Colorado State 34-27. Ohio State actually played Bowling Green in the Little Caesars Bowl and went right to work destroying Bowling Green, which is kind of expected, to be honest. Utah beats Texas Tech in the Holiday Bowl 35-33. The Miami Hurricanes beat Memphis in the Russell Athletic Bowl 42-28. No surprises there. Boise State beating Florida Atlantic in the Armed Forces Bowl of 8. Boise State gets a top 20 finish because of that. They won this game 49-32. Cincinnati goes to overtime against Cal and wins the Fight Hunger Bowl 37-34. That's a good win for that program for sure. Stanford beats West Virginia Alamo Bowl 38-14. Florida State, goes basically into like Vanderbilt's home territory in the Music City Bowl. I'm pretty sure that's in Tennessee, and beat Vanderbilt in what's essentially a road game. They won 27-16 and finished number 19 in the country. Georgia Tech beats Georgia. Wow, we got a rivalry game in the Chick-fil-A Bowl, and Georgia Tech came out on top and won 37-27. You don't see that very often, two rivals meeting up in a bowl game. That's insane. Northwestern also beat Tennessee in the Gator Bowl 39-34 and what was a pretty close and pretty exciting matchup. Auburn narrowly defeated Minnesota in the Outback Bowl. I've seen that matchup quite a few times as of late, even in real life, but Auburn does come out on top this time around, winning 39-36 in overtime. Michigan also takes care of business in the Capital One Bowl against Florida, taking them to the woodshed, winning 41-6. Really destroying that SEC bias, if I say so myself. Penn State beats Arizona in the Rose Bowl 35-13. Wisconsin beats San Diego State, who got in, as a group of 5 invite. They still lost 42-28, but a top 10 finish is nothing to be ashamed of for a program, from the Mountain West. Alabama beats Washington handily in the All-State Sugar Bowl, winning 38-17. Oklahoma State takes down Ole Miss in the Cotton Bowl 27-24. Texas beats Tulsa in the Orange Bowl 28-17. And in the national championship game, the Heisman Trophy winner, I believe it's their halfback, could not take them over the top. Notre Dame is going to be your national champion for this season, and they win somewhat handily 42-25. Out of a strong second quarter, Notre Dame scored 28 points, and they were just basically able to cruise from there. So I also didn't realize this, but we also won the Coach of the Year award. So that's insane. I did not think that we would pull it off, but or I wasn't expecting it at least, but we won it. So we got that Coach of the Year award, 750 XP. That is awesome to see. Gonna take that right into recruiting, and we get a contract extension. The first time that we get a contract extension in this dynasty. Got this team on the up and up. When we started off, we were 0-12 in the first season, and then we moved up to 2-10. We went 3-9 for a couple of years, but then when Walt Bell took over, coming from Mid Tennessee State, who we ironically beat for a bowl game in the Liberty Bowl, it's been night and day. Went 7-5 in the first season, and now year number 2, we went 9-4. Of course, no questions asked. Gonna go ahead and sign this extension, man. Stay around for the next couple of years. So not only did we decide to stick around and sign an extension, but our offensive coordinator Tony Franklin is also going to sign an extension with us as well. He was in charge of a borderline top 25 offense in the nation, with the second best offense in the entire conference. Which it's nice to have that camaraderie. For the first time in this dynasty, we're gonna have stability for our coaches. It's not gonna be a revolving door anymore. However, we will have to go and say goodbye to some key players on this squad. You know, and I actually realized I didn't really do much for senior day or like for the bowl game for our seniors, so I actually do apologize for that. But you know, we say goodbye to key guys such as Kyle Luck, Adam Wright, Eric Bradshaw, who was an All-American for us, man. Tommy Davis was an anchor on the offensive line for us. Glenn Robinson was a steady force for us as well. He played a lot in his final 2 seasons on the squad. Pierre Jones was a multiple-year starter. OJ Gardner, Jeff Outlaw, they were, you know, strong starters on this squad. Nate Gillett was a, you know, solid backup. You know, did give up 2 sacks, but a lot of times it was because we actually physically, you know, ran towards him. And, you know, where they were breaking off, so that's just kind of how it be. Jeff Jones, you know, came in, got some playing time as well, particularly in the senior year. You know, had his career best, you know, in every single category. You know, Santiago found a custom recruit. Always hard to say goodbye to custom recruits, man. I mean, that's not really, you know, much to say about that. Andrew Green, our record holder for most catches in a season, he's going. Man, this is actually this is really sad, actually. You know, a lot of, you know, guys that stuck around through the bad times, you know, and, you know, we gotta say goodbye to them and, you know, wish them the luck. You know, it's a shame that, you know, guys like Kyle Luck, you know, that are graduating, you know, I feel like he would at least like sign on as like an undrafted free agent. Let me know how you feel about that. Just looking at his playing career, like, you think he would be picked up, you know, like as an undrafted guy, undrafted free agent? You know, let me know down in the comments. I'm actually genuinely curious to think what you guys think. I personally think he would, but you know, and it might be a hill that I'm willing to die on unless I'm persuaded otherwise. So we did not get anybody drafted to the NFL, which was to be expected since the vast majority of the guys on our team are, you know, 1-star guys. You know, we do have some 2 stars starting to sprinkle in, but, you know, there's still, you know, a lot of 1-stars on this team. You know, we do get 1 transfer request from Lance King, who did redshirt his freshman year, and, you know, I guess, you know, he just wanted to go somewhere where, you know, he wanted an opportunity to play in the future. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and accept him onto the squad. You know, definitely love to bring in some more talent when we can. So, welcome to the squad, Lance King. Oh, I almost de-admitted him. And now that we are, you know, past, you know, the transfer request, we still have free scholarships to work with since transfers take scholarships from the incoming class. So had to get rid of Jelani Williams. I think Penn State was recruiting him pretty hard, so I think Penn State's going to end up getting him anyways. So, you know, we're going to focus in on Jake Hicks, who seems like we're in the bag. You know, have like a 3,000 point lead. Just to be safe though, I am going to put 1,000 points into him, you know, just to make sure that we're good there. You know, try and, you know, just do our due diligence to make sure that we actually get this guy, no matter what. The vast majority of our points, though, we're definitely, I think I'm going to go about putting them into, actually, it might be a split. I think I'm probably, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put, you know, 4,500 each, you know, into Jeff Fisher and Chester Boyd. You know, just because they're both 3-star guys and both of them can help out either, you know, for immediately next season or in the very near future. You know, depend on how things shake out. Just because I know Chester Boyd, even though he would be a backup, you know, he could step in and start for us, you know, for season 8, you know, just trying to think down the line. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. You know, I'm gonna put, you know, 4,500 into Jeff Fisher, 4,500 into Chester Bird, and then, you know, I'm gonna put 1,000 into Jake Hicks as well. So we'll go ahead, sim the signing day, and hopefully for the very best. I'll catch you guys when I sim there. And look at that, we do get all 3 guys to sign with us. Jeff Fisher's on the squad, Chester Bird is on the squad, and Jake Hicks will all be on the squad for season 7. Let's freaking go. Now, checking out the top classes, we only finished 104, but the positive news is that we did become a 3-star program, so we will be able to go after 3 stars, and not to mention we'll also be able to go further out initially, like throughout the season. So in the past, we've only been able to recruit Minnesota and around surrounding states, and then if we recruit everybody that we can go farther out later on, in the season. But we don't have to worry about that. We can recruit Michigan right away. We can recruit Illinois right away. We can go out to Illinois, or not Illinois, I already said that, Missouri, Nebraska, Wyoming, and Montana. All of those states will now be available to us initially, so that really helps improve our footprint, and we have a more diverse options to bring more guys in the future. So that will be really helpful for the program. We just got to keep that positive energy going. So this will also be our recruiting class, that will be bringing in for season 7, and it's going to be looking pretty darn good, man. We got 3 guys over 70 overall in Kevin Carter, Jeff Fisher, and Aaron Horn, 2 of which are athletes, so that'll be interesting to see where we'll end up putting them. Behind them, we have more guys that can fill in and play a role right away. Guys like George Hurst, Matt Wade, Billy Ewing, Antoine Black. Even more down the line. This is a very extremely solid class, up and down. This is probably the best. This actually is the best recruiting class that I've ever put in. Getting almost to the top 100 with mainly 2-star guys. I'm very excited. The future of the St. Thomas program is extremely bright, if I say so myself. And if you want to replace one of these guys, because I do have custom recruits that I always like to do here on this channel. Let me know down in the comments who you want to replace, as well as who you want your custom recruit to be named. Obviously, you gotta have a name, of course. And I'll have a template as pinned as the top comment, so make sure to check that out, and I'll make it happen. Just let me know if you want a custom recruit, and you will probably have a custom recruit guaranteed. Now that we got recruiting out of the way, man, it's time to figure out what kind of position changes we want to make going into this season. And always got to start with the athletes, man. First gonna start with, at least for now, Jeff Fisher, and seems like he definitely is an offensive weapon. Definitely can't really place him anywhere. I know halfback is his best position, but we have we have 3 really good running backs on the roster right now. We also brought in Antoine Morris, which will of course will also redshirt without question. Looking at wide receiver though, and he could definitely be our top wide receiver right away. So I'm thinking this is a no-brainer. I'm gonna put Jeff Fisher over at wideout, and he can go ahead and be our best wide receiver right away. Be a great compliment to Alex Garcia. Now, as for Aaron Horn, kind of looking around to see, looks like he's an offensive lineman, maybe. Although it looks like defensive tackle could very well be the move for him as well. Because we didn't bring in any new defensive tackles. We only have, we have Jake Hicks, that I know that we brought in. But, if we move Aaron Horn there, we can upgrade that defensive tackle position with ease. And, just like that, looks like Aaron Horn will instantly be the starter over there. Maybe we can redshirt a couple of these guys that didn't get a chance to redshirt over the past season, like Jake Hicks will probably redshirt, and then same will probably go for James Sapp, who did get on the field, but just didn't do anything when he was on there. So I think a redshirt year will be really helpful for him. Now at tight end, I also noticed that we didn't have anybody at all at left tackle, and that's a little bit of an issue. So probably gonna go ahead, see if we can move Darnell Thomas over to left tackle. I just want to have an extra body over there, just because, you know, we just don't have anybody at left tackle whatsoever. You know, he's not, you know, he has some speed. You know, he's gonna have some time. You know, he's gonna have to really try to develop over there. You know, but we just really need it right now. And you know, we already have like 3 other tight ends. He probably won't see the field as well, you know, being a junior and all. So that's why I moved him over to left tackle. You know, we got guys like Adrian Allen, his class, and then younger guys like James Parson, you know, who probably will see playing time right away. And then Sean Doyle, you know, is not too far behind him either. So I think that's probably going to be the best move, you know, just in general. At left end, I'm going to go ahead and move Buster Porter from the left end over to, you know, the right end. You know, just that, you know, rather have like 3 and 3 on both sides. You know, just not sure if, you know, have a nice little battle. At least have more competition for Brian Anderson. You know, if he wins the job, cool. If not, Buster Porter, I think, will be ready to play day 1. And it's good that we're going to be pretty young in general, man. You know, and, you know, we're still going to be roughly the same overall as well. So that means we're really starting to come together as a team. Looking at training results for the guys, and I'm liking what I'm seeing overall, man. Gonna have 3 guys this upcoming season that are over 80 overall. You know, some guys that, you know, also took a pretty sizable jump. We have more guys that are over 70 overall than we did last season, and that's super encouraging to see. You know, going into season 7, Antoine Johnson's a 70 overall, which is nice to see. He'll at least be a decent replacement. You know, it's going to be hard to replace Kyle Luck, but, you know, he should do a pretty solid job. And, you know, that 78 speed definitely doesn't hurt either. Halfback looks great as ever. Jamie Smith and Ryan Sanders are both 74 overall, so even though we don't really utilize the fullback position all that often, it'll be interesting to see who wins that starting job going into camp. You know, at least getting that spring ball, summer ball in. Wide receiver, we have Alex Garcia hitting 70 overall. He'll be one of our best receivers this season, you know, by far. You know, the receiving core is also improving rapidly, and it's also pretty solid. We'll at least have another year of all of these guys, like, focus on other things. Adrian Allen and Sean Doyle, you know, they're both getting there slowly but surely. And Darnell Thomas, you know, he takes a little bit of a hit, but is like, you know, 50 overall. I mean, he's going to be a body. Jarrell Bullock's a 73. Nice. Let's see, what else do we have here? Davon Green is a 68 overall. You love to see that. Although Rodney Sanchez is only a 51. We're going to have to keep building that line, definitely. At least both sides of the ball. You know, just to be where, you know, exactly where we want to be. But Brian Anderson does get to a 63, so we're going to have a decision to make whether to start the true freshman or start Brian Anderson, you know, as he did get in a little bit, but he wasn't that productive. Only 3 tackles, and one of them was a TFL. Defensive line, James Sapp and Willie Robinson hit that, actually, and Ashley Brock all hit that 60 overall threshold. Thomas Lynch is not too far behind whatsoever, though. Left outside linebacker Dale Garrison gets to 69 overall. Nice. Tyler Graham is a 75 overall. He's looking pretty good. Whereas Robbie Heath and Brett Smart are both, you know, fighting for that second, you know, starting position at the middle linebacker. Gonna be interesting to see who wins that matchup. Scott Cochran, honestly, he's probably going to be cut. The only reason we didn't cut him was because we were below 70 players last season. That's why he stayed on the squad. Zach Bones hit 69 overall. Nice. Cornerback position, we don't have as many corners as we used to, but Jared Odom and Joe Henry are, you know, both above 70 overall comfortably. Jesus Shuttleworth is at 66, and Chris Jackson is at 62. Free safety, we have Zaire Hill. I kind of talked about that. 82 overall, looking really darn good. Corey Johnson, you know, Omar Jones making good progress as well. Billy Mitchell is now a 68, so that's really cool to see, you know, with Corey Mitchell and Jared Spott not too far behind. Jared Scott, you know, hoping for a little bit more of a jump. Only a 3 overall increase. It's It's really disappointing to see. Guess he really didn't put in that work. Pat Hampton's a 68 overall, so hopefully that means we can kick the ball farther, which, scrolling over, it is 79 kick power, 60 kick accuracy now. And then at punter, Jamaro Lewis is now a 72 overall. Looking pretty solid himself. He's going to have 78 kick power, but 68 kick accuracy. So this time around, we do have a pretty tough decision to make, as we will have to cut 6 players. What I usually do is I start by, cutting guys from the bottom, and going from there. So Scott Cochran, you're going to have to go, buddy. I'm sorry. Darnell Thomas, we're actually going to cut him too. Just isn't necessarily working out for us, unfortunately. Matt Wilson, you're going to get the boot as well. Same thing with Rodney Sanchez. Just not feeling it personally. Let's see who else they have. Tim Weiss, just didn't really develop that much, so you're going to go. And then Joel Harris, I know you're a 2-star guy and all, but, just not good enough, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. You're going to go as well. You're going to be the final cut, actually. So with all that being said, this is going to be the final roster. We are going to carry 5 quarterbacks, and we'll redshirt at least 2 of them. Probably will redshirt Chester Bird and Larry Frederick. Let Bruce McGuire, come in. He's the most mobile. He'll be the most ready to play, for our system. But I think Chester Bird is going to have the most potential out of these freshman quarterbacks. Halfback, we're still going to have the tandem Lucas Coley and Eli Shaligan with Kajaye Boyd, taking kick returns. He's up to a 96 overall. That is not 96 speed. You know what I'm talking about. Fullbacks, we got these 2. Wide receiver, we still have a great bunch of wide receiver. None of them are seniors. So these guys still all have at least a year to grow. That is going to be nuts moving forward. Just got to take care of business. Tight end, will carry 3 tight ends. No left tackles, but that might be, advantageous to us for now. We just got to continue to build this offensive line, because we don't have a lot of linemen. So, it's just definitely going to be a rebuilding project for sure. Going to also have a couple of defensive linemen. Antoine Black's going to start for us at left end. Right end, right now, slight edge to Buster Porter because he does have the speed. We'll see how he plays in camp. Brian Anderson definitely going to have a case as well, just because he has more experience in general. Defensive tackle, Aaron Horn will start for us, but, Jake Hicks, is going to be a solid guy as well. Probably going to redshirt him, as well as James Sapp going forward. Dale Garrison will move up as the new starting outside linebacker, with Tyler Graham still being around, but, we'll see what happens between Brett Smart and Robert Heath, who wins the other starting position. Right outside linebacker, we'll still have Zach Bones, who's up to a 69, which is still very nice. Corner, we actually don't have as many corners as we usually do, so we're definitely going to have to focus in on cornerback, over these next couple of seasons, so that we can replenish the talent that's on this roster. Same with free safety. We will have Zaire Hill graduating after this season, so we'll have to find a free safety. And then we have 2 strong safeties graduating as well, so gonna have to find at least 2 strong safeties, in my opinion. So now that all these players made it past final cuts, let's take a look at who's going to get redshirted for Season 7. Starting with our quarterbacks, we are going to redshirt Chester Bird and Larry Frederick. Both of them could use some development in general, as neither of them have really that high awareness or, not that great athleticism either. So I think they can both use a year of development. If both Noah Brooks and Antoine Johnson get hurt at any point, Bruce McGuire will be the freshman that will be going in first, just because, he does have the most speed out of the 3 freshman quarterbacks. But, for, this season, Antoine Johnson is going to start, and then Noah Brooks will be backing him up. At halfback, we will have Antoine Morris redshirting because there's a lot of juniors and seniors ahead of him. And for the future, we're definitely going to need him down the line as we continue to build this squad up. At wide receiver, I did decide to redshirt Tristan Singleton. Just didn't think that, he had a lot of drop passes, in season 6. He dropped a quarter of his passes, which should say enough, and even then he still only has 72 catching, so I would like him to develop that while we have more wide receiver depth on the squad. And then we're also going to redshirt Kyle Dunn, only a 61 overall as a junior. Maybe that extra year of development would be able to help him out. Last season wasn't really much of a difference maker anyways, only 1 catch for 3 yards. At defensive tackle, Aaron Horn is better than everybody by a country mile, so he's going to start right away. As for the rest, these guys, that have been on the team for quite some time, they're, just about as good as, the newcomers coming in. So, James Sapp, he got some playing experience last season. This year, I think we're going to redshirt him just to give him some more time to develop. And then same with Jake Hicks. He's, similar to the other backups anyways, nothing special, so redshirt definitely doesn't hurt here. At right outside linebacker, I am going to redshirt Jermaine Henderson, just because he has 80 speed, which, is the fastest of this outside linebacker core, so I'm definitely pretty intrigued by that for sure. However, he only has 43 awareness, and that tackling isn't great either, so just an extra year of development to learn how to actually tackle well at the collegiate level will help him out, just to really accompany the athleticism that he does naturally have. And then that's the only red shirts that I have for this season. Other than that, got the team pretty spread around pretty well. Definitely can't wait to see what we can do. Finally, this is going to be our final schedule for season 7, and nobody really wants to play us, which is a little insulting, but it's whatever. We'll start out by playing FCS West to start the season off nice and easy, and then we'll go on the road to play Georgia State, play FIU once again, this time at our house, then close things out with a Big Ten opponent, playing against Indiana. Then we move into conference play where we play Ohio from the MAC East, who nearly made it to the conference championship last season. If they took care of business against Bowling Green. And then, we'll play Ball State against, play these guys from the MAC West division. And then our other cross-division opponent is UMass once again, who almost made it to a bowl game, but not quite. So, it's a really easy schedule. It's probably the easiest schedule that we had to date. So my goal for this season is I want to have double-digit wins and make it to the conference championship game at least, if not win the whole thing. Because if we can get to 10 wins, bare minimum, then even if we don't become a 4-star school, then we can recruit 4 stars out of our pipeline states. So next episode, I will go over some of the custom recruits that will be joining the squad, as well as some players currently on the team that will be getting underachiever bonuses because they were named to the preseason All-American or preseason All-Conference teams despite having a lower overall. And we'll also try to take care of business against FCS West. We are a better team on paper for a change, and Kurt Hertzick's going to roll with us. So hopefully we can start this new season out 1-0. So guys, I hope you're really excited for it, and if you are, make sure you smash that like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you're new. And if you also want to have a custom recruit, feel free to follow the template that's going to be the pinned comment as well, so that you can have a custom recruit for this upcoming season. In the meantime though, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.